So are you guys ready for our slam tonight?
Woo!
Woo!
Yes.
Everybody give a warm welcome to Stephanie.
Woo!
I ran away from the last room I had sex in. If that's even what it could be called. He told me be silent when his wife called, and I obeyed. Wanting to be the good girl, I offered for him to slurp soup off my ass, not knowing that'd be the wettest I'd get. I offered my body for mummification. He laid me on my back, and I did not know he had already gagged me when I stopped begging for him to stop sucking my cock. I wasn't even tied up yet, but I just laid there, still wanting to be the good girl. I only moved when he told me it was time for his tissy to please my master. I ran away from the first room I had sex in. If that's even what it could be called. We met on an app. He called me his tissy. He called me an experiment, wanting to see how much woman could be sucked from a man's cock, and I, wanting to be the good girl, submissed. But still, he wouldn't call me girl. So I tied myself to the chair, ass out all pussy, and begged for him to fuck me, woman, for him to fuck me good. I remember back in trans support group, everyone saying how amazing their life and sex is now that they're complete, cock disposed and fully woman, and I spread my ass cheeks wider, turn and suck his cock harder, hoping one of my holes could be pussy enough for him, hoping I chose right with letting him make me woman. I ran away from the first room I was supposed to have sex in. Met on an app. He didn't have a profile picture, but you know, he said all the right things. He called me girl, not sissy. He called me good, not cross-dressing showpiece or kink bucket list. Yes, this was gonna be a kink hookup. Every hookup I've ever run away from has been kink. I've never met a person who didn't just want to fuck me because I fulfilled some of their fantasies. And I know he did too, but you know, he sweetened it. And had me begging to be fucked by my chalk outlining savior. But a friend found me outside crying because I couldn't go through with it, because I did run away. By the only standards I knew, I wasn't a woman, and I couldn't bear to have those feelings stamped true. And she cries with me, you know, but her tears are joyous because I did run away. Says that's the fastest way for me to get killed, and makes me promise to never do it again. But I did, and I do, and I came back to the room I was raped in. If that's even what it can be called, you know, because the judge says it isn't. Says there was never any penetration, and we were just boys. Because see, I wasn't out at that time. But looking back, I think he knew I'd be here. You know, the way he smiled as he kept me restrained and begging. I run away because I don't want to validate my rape. Don't want to know I actually like this.
Let's go, poet. Let's go. Come on.
I trace this to my baby photo. I tried to kill you today. Put the knife to my wrist and tried to imagine what my life would be like without you in it, but all I could see was darkness. So I shaved my face hard, lathered in the blood drops. They form as tears from my neck, and I think you're finally crying. Your baby doll ain't here to protect you anymore. I lost her years ago, actually. I think mom has her in a box somewhere, but it's the same thing. You know, she still talks about you and your stupid fucking smile, how she says it's not mine. She says you're not me, and I try to imagine our split. And if it was painful, like one moment it's just you, and it's Halloween, and you're posing all cowboy, holding baby doll, and that smile, but then you drop her. Your mouth goes wide as my claws force it open, and I crawl out of you all screaming and scary and drooling and surprise, motherfucker. Or maybe when the camera flashes, your eyes go white, head spins 360 into me, all surprise, motherfucker. Either way, you're not here, and mom's crying, and that's why I think she still calls out for you. She's hoping she'll find you in me. Hoping you'll come running back to her like maybe this is just some nightmare, and she's in her bed shaking, waiting for you to wake to her pain and run rescue like you've done all those nights before. You know, she still calls you her guardian angel. And I try to imagine how it feels to be loved. How it feels to know you're loved because she still does say it, but like, I think it's out of obligation to you because all I ever feel is darkness, and it's all your fault. Why the hell did you have to be so goddamn roses, all mama's boy and smiles, the perfect fucking child? I hate you! I hate you! I hate me. And I think that was her plan all along. You know, why she always brings up our surgeries, all 36 of them, and always says that no other parent would have gone through that for their kid, but you know, she stayed. Why she always brings up her diabetes and hypoglycemia because we stayed, but always forgets everything else. All the pain between us and from her, how after that photo we cried. She's hoping one of us will run back to her. She always wanted to be the one who escaped, but I actually did.
Yeah!
Woo! Everybody, give it up for Afton.
Let's go, Afton!
Every month, I die a slow and bloody death, a crucifixion of sorts. My spirit pouring out of me in pools of red. I feel like a crime scene, like a murder of my own making, like death is just the nature of my living, all dizzy, weak, all shiver and bruises, black spots on my vision, can't stand upright, shedding the nutrients even my body has decided I do not deserve. I bleed heavy, like wound, like cry in the bathroom, like beg for the day when the bleeding stops, when I can resurrect myself a clean thing, unsoiled, and pretend that my hands will not be forever stained with the red of grieving myself, with the messy death of a girl I learned to be, with the pain of my body once again out of my control. Everyone calls it a miracle, tells me this is the beauty of womanhood, the magic of giving life, but I am not a woman. And I am tired of giving life, tired of how my life seems to have always been designed for giving. I want to know how to keep things. My blood, my heart, and my body feels like a dead thing, feels like hands inside me twisting as if to say, this body will never truly be mine. Call it a gift from God, but Moses was never left to drown in his red sea. I do not worship of my own volition. This is a sacrifice I have no choice but to give. I am a goat slaughtered on the altar of God that claims he demands no blood. My uterus chants in tongues. She says, remember who you were supposed to be. You are made to hold something, to live life, to give life, not live it. You still bleed like a girl. Your body remembers the woman of you. You cannot run from this. So I don't run. I wear my crown of thorns. Place my hand on my chest and feel the heartbeat of a not quite girl. Still breathing, still alive. Call me a zombie or a phoenix or some kind of savior. Take this blood as a sacrament, but only I eat of this body will grow holy of this flesh. I have no choice but to keep dying, but I will always live again. Cis-het man slides into my DMs like unlubed dick. Pretends not to notice the friction, and I, by some tragedy of social conditioning, indulge him. I ask what he wants. Like I don't know already, like maybe he will surprise me or at least be stupid enough to make me laugh. To make this body he wants to call home feel less prison for a moment. But he answers, and I am not surprised. And when I laugh, it catches in my throat like briars, like a sharpness that doesn't belong here. I tell him, I don't generally do men anymore. I don't say why. He does not deserve that of me. And he says, no strings attached. Says, sorry, baby, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. And isn't it just like a man? To reject a desire I would never deem him worthy of. And isn't it just like a man to beg from my body like he could have more than that? He says, no strings attached. And I think him an unskilled puppet master. How he calls me a real boy, like I don't see the twine that binds me here already, like how I won't say no directly, how I leave the chance of maybe, like if it's possible, I will dance for him, then maybe he won't burn me, a wooden thing choking on my own splinters. A marionette made of self-doubt, part of me still telling myself this is the only way anyone will ever love me. I ask him, what's in it for me? And I want it to sound like a write-off, like the dismissal I can't quite bring myself to give him, but truthfully, it's just a question. And maybe part of me still hopes for a reality where a cis man gives me anything other than trauma, and maybe that's why I keep doing this. Like maybe if this man is a miracle, I can start taking Ubers by myself. Like maybe not all men could be more than a hypothetical, and maybe I would stop tasting misogyny in my father's voice, but he never is a miracle. He is always just a man.
Woo! Give it up for Anita.
Halloween used to be one of my family's favorite holidays. We loved decorating the house and the yard. My dad used to really get into it. And by that, I mean he used to actually be a decoration. He'd costume himself into a ghoulish scarecrow and then lay out on the lawn chair, wait for the local trick-or-treaters to approach the yard and scare the living shit out of them. On occasion, he also used to scare the living shit out of me. Some of the masks he wore were so terrifying, I could barely look at him. Over the years, I noticed my family slowly stopped decorating on Halloween. I'm not sure if it's because my brother and I grew older or because I started to see my father turn monster more often. I mean, who needs decorations when a bottle of gin can do the trick? Be the potion or the poison that transforms a hero into a horror. Blur the tongue, the mind, and the body into a hunchback, red-eyed, staggering beast. Bring that ghoulish scarecrow back to life on every holiday, after funerals, during celebrations, on the weekends. On any given night, alcohol would creep its way into the cracks of my father's broken and create space for itself. Costume my dad into the thing that goes bump in the night, but I'm learning that my father was not born a monstrosity. He did not choose to become someone that frightens me, but somewhere between my childhood and my 30s, I lost sight of who he was beneath the scary. I blamed him for my trauma, but never considered where his came from. Never wondered how terrifying his childhood may have been. The demons he was forced to face growing up, or the ones he is still fighting today, like the bottles of liquor that haunt him at night, or the abuse he tried to drink away as the teen, or the feelings of abandonment, like losing his mother as a young boy. It's easy to ignore her when you aren't the one holding it. When the weight isn't yours to bear, it's easy to stand tall and say someone else is staggering. For years, I thought of my father, this horror, as if he was always this terrifying, as if he wasn't created by someone or something. I wonder if dressing up as a scarecrow was a metaphor the entire time. Like maybe my dad was trying to show us how easily we could be turned into monsters. It reminds us we always have the choice to take off the costume. I should have taken more time to look up my father's mask. Realize that underneath it all, he is still human. He is still my dad. I should have tried harder to understand why he hides behind it, instead of being afraid and naming him the boogeyman. Farmers have always used scarecrows to ward off threats, to preserve the life of their crops, and so maybe my dad's costume was just his way of trying to protect us. He knows there are far scarier things in this gruesome world than he. And despite how my father chooses to deal with his hauntings, he will always be here to defend his family. After all, we are his seeds, his crops, and grow and blossom and not care if the rest of the world is afraid?
Like poet.
And the psych ward says, there is no need to worry. This asylum was built to help you. And just like the straps on the stretcher that you rolled in on, we are going to keep you safe and secure. Notice the locked door and all the cameras perched in the corners like hawks. You will be watching, but this is all for you and your well-being. You are sick, anxious, depressed, a danger to yourself. The state told us to hold you for 72 hours, but if you sign this paper, we can pretend your stay here this weekend is voluntary. Friday morning, you will be woken up by strangers in white coats and clipboards. You will be asked again and again and again about why and how you want to kill yourself. Be honest. Remember, you are only here for 3 days. So take advantage of the 5 to 10 minutes you have with the doctor, but understand, he has a list of patients as long as his pay stub. So you won't be receiving any actual therapy sessions while you're here, but we will recommend them as treatment for after we let you out. Until then, we want you to be comfortable. So sit back, enjoy the plastic furniture and coloring books. We have old radio with no antenna, but the static is still loud enough to drown out the sound of the woman screaming in 2B. That's just Cindy. She just does that sometimes. Well, she didn't always, but she does now. And until we can find the right medication, we are going to keep helping her, just like we want to keep helping you. If only you let us. It's Monday morning, and you haven't even tried the meds yet. You're still lying to us about holding the knife to your arm like your parents haven't already told us everything. Just be honest and let us help you. Did I mention that the state only recognizes the existence of psychiatric patients Monday through Friday? Meaning, the past 48 hours you spent here didn't even count. Meaning, we still have time for a breakthrough or a breakdown. This is a good thing. This means we still have time to help you. And I can see that you're getting upset, but do not walk away from me with tears streaming and knuckles buried in palms. That type of body language is aggressive, and we might have to do something about that. As sedative, maybe diazepam perhaps. I don't think being alone is best for you right now. Maybe you just spend time with the other people. Get to know how they got here. Listen to them. When they tell you you got lucky getting placed in this psych ward, we are one of the good ones and we want you to stay here. We figure if we keep you for long enough, maybe you'll eventually start to fit in, or maybe if we keep you locked up, you'll eventually start to act out, and we will be right here waiting to prescribe you something, to label you with a diagnosis. We didn't cause your social anxiety. We only heightened what was already there. We just want to see you reach your full potential as a patient. We told you, this asylum was built to help you.
All right, kid, come on. Oh, we love a reveal. All right. Go Offset.
Ready? So no big deal.
Cross my heart, both the time. With you, the only place I feel alive. Feel the space in my mind. I feel whole again by your side. I can't lose this. I'm so deep in my memories. You make all my feelings come you say. Let's see up inside. Everything down to me. Oh, everything that you say. Everything down to me. Oh, everything that you say. On the line, hold the thing, make you want my time, it wants for me, spinning lights, like poetry, you know what I want.
Hi, I figured out how to get in.
I'm so deep in my memories, you make all my feelings come you say. Let's be up inside. You want me down for me. Oh, you want me to say. You want me down for me. Oh, you want me down to say. You want me down for me. Don't want to be that nice like I do, baby. You don't want to feel that nice like I do, baby. You don't want to be that nice like I do, baby. You don't want to feel that nice like I do, baby. Nobody else to me. I want to be like I do, baby. You don't think that was to me. I want to be like I do, baby. You don't think that was to me. I want to be like I do, baby. You don't think that was to me. I want to Predator.
Okay.
Woo!
Damn.
Damn. Wow.
Okay.
Oh, that was
Okay.
Susanna Gibson.
I wasn't expecting the coochie slam, but all right.
Well, some. I mean, they said this was a slam, so I brought it.
You're dead. You're dead. You're freaking dead.